All right, everyone. So in today's episode, I'm going to break down my watch list for Monday morning and the game plan for the week ahead. This week is a holiday week. The market is closed on Thursday for Thanksgiving, and then Friday is a half day. The market closes at 1 p.m. Typically, Thanksgiving week is lighter volume because a lot of people travel, especially Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, a lot of people traveling, so we should expect there will be lighter volume and just not as much liquidity in the market. It may be harder to move in and out with big positions. So this will probably be a week to size down a little bit. And then Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, a lot of people just take that day off completely. But not me. I will be here trading like always. I show up every single day, rain or shine. So my expectation for Friday is that yes, the volume will be lighter, but there will be a lot of traders who show up anyways, like myself, which is pretty much always the case. There's always people that show up. But if there's nothing really popping up, what we will expect is at best a wild card stock. So think about this. What company is going to put out a big news headline on a day when a lot of people don't even show up in the market? Black Friday, a lot of people aren't even going to show up. Well, traders aren't going to be there. So if you put out great news, who's there to buy it? Who's there to buy the stock? Right? So a company is probably more inclined to put out good news next Monday, a week, well, this coming Monday and then the following Monday, and to not put out news on Friday. So we shouldn't be surprised if we don't see big news headlines on Friday. Now, it's also possible that some companies will be a little strategic, especially small cap companies, perhaps out of China, who will put out a headline hoping that the traders who are in the market will see it and will jump on it for lack of anything else to trade. And that could create a wild card move where suddenly you have a stock that goes up 300-400% because there was sort of nothing else to trade, but that was the one that put out news. So we have to be on the lookout for that. That's kind of best case scenario. And it's a little risky, but it is a possibility. So let's start by looking at some of the big moves for last week, Friday especially. One of the last stocks to hit the scan was XCUR. This was on my watch list Friday morning. Holy smokes, look at this thing. It just kept going up. Why was it on my watch list? Well, it had made a big move in the previous session right here. And then I was actually on Wednesday. This made a big move on Wednesday. It then pulled back, sold off a little bit Thursday, but by Thursday night was kind of coming back up, and early Friday morning was coming back up. So I had it on my watch list right here. However, what I said was that I really feel like I need news on this to get a good trade. And I'm surprised that without any news whatsoever, it put in this really nice spike here from 13 to 19. I could have traded that, but I did not. It sold off back to 14, bounced up to 17, but never got back to that $19 level. Well, at least not until the close. Coming into the close, power hour on a Friday, it comes all the way back up to 19, pulls back, and then after hours squeezes all the way up to 24. But this candle right here, this candle right here, how much volume was on it? So this candle where we broke away, 13,000 shares of volume. So, if we're going to be real, you wouldn't have been able to make $30,000, $40,000 on a candle like that without taking some pretty big size. And there wasn't the volume to really support that. So anyways, it pulls back, it pops up a little bit more, but in total, it only traded 4 million shares of volume on the whole day, which now creates a divergence on the daily chart where we had high volume on the day of the big move, a lighter volume day of rest, that's normal, and then moving higher, but on substantially less volume than the initial breakout day. So that's the divergence right there. And it's because there wasn't a news catalyst that really got a lot of traders excited. Had there been news, it would have been a different story. So the other one was FBRX. This one made a really big move on Wednesday, and I was watching this one as well on Friday, thinking maybe first daily candle make a new high. So Wednesday has this big squeeze all the way up to $19, $20. This is one of the ones I traded and did really well on. Ends up pulling back, dipping down to 10, then rallying back up Thursday. Friday, kind of hanging out there. Again, it needs news. If it had a news catalyst, we would have been in good shape. So the daily chart on this one, you can see high volume candle on the first day and then lighter volume on the next 2 days. In fact, yesterday's volume or Friday's volume was only 400,000 shares. So you go from 30 million shares to 400,000 shares a couple days later. It just goes to show how traders give up on these. But if it had another news catalyst, boom, just like that, next thing you know, traders would have the conviction to get in and take some size. So The fact that this one didn't have any fresh news, both XCUR and FBRX, prevented me from trading them, but XCUR did end up moving higher. So now you ask, well, is it worth watching on Monday for continuation? I would say, unfortunately, it's too expensive at this point. It's getting to be a price range where, especially if it doesn't have news, it's going to be really hard to manage risk. You're going to have bigger spreads, and it's just probably not going to be safe. AGFY is another recent example of this kind of thing where the stock has been really strong. Put it on auto. This was the day with high volume where it squeezed up to 20. Kind of had a couple days perking up and then hits that big squeeze day. And then it pushes higher, but on really light volume. It ends up going all the way up to 40 and then selling off hard on this day back to 25 and then going all the way up to $55 a share. But look at the candles. How do you trade this? I mean, you've got these big drops, which happen on, those drops happened on 8,000 shares of volume. It's like a 12, 15 point drop. So we look at the volume on the daily and it's like 700,000 shares a day. It's just, unfortunately, not easy to get in and out of it. So as a result, it's going to be hard to make any money on it. Now, if we look at my metrics here, I could just pull these up just to show you where I profit based on volume. So price and volume. Let's see. Where is it? Maybe it's instrument volume. Yeah, here it is. So, right now, AGFY is in this range, 500,000 to 1 million shares of volume. I don't usually make money down there. XCUR was in this range, 2.5 to 4 million, 4.9 Friday. But I really do better when stocks end up having higher volume. And this is just, I guess, year to date, but it's the same over a longer time frame. So for me, I really do need a bit more volume in order to get in and out with bigger sizes and to manage my risk with the spreads. So AGFY, of course, that's not on watch. XCUR, no, I don't think I'm going to watch that on Monday. And FBRX, I could still watch this because it hasn't gone all the way up to $28 or $30. So the price is still okay, but it needs fresh news. And if it doesn't get fresh news, then I don't think I'm going to be feeling comfortable trading it. So let's look at... So if we look at some of the top gainers on Friday, PDYN, this one, big move, 16 million share float, 80 million shares of volume. It was a grinder for sure. It did keep grinding higher, but it was a grinder. That could be worth watching for a break of 5 pre-market on Monday. The only problem is it might break early, and then we'll have to see, around 7, 8 a.m. if we get another trade higher. So that's a possibility that I would keep on watch. Yeah, the float's a little higher, but the rate of change was good, up 130%. QMCO, this one's funny. It moved higher, but a little bit choppy. Some of these topping tail candles and some of these bigger red candles, is it worth watching for Monday? I would say yes, if it can break through those highs. So that one's on watch on Monday as well. NA for continuation on Monday. This one's kind of interesting because it popped up back here, sold off, back up, sold off, rips back up, back down, back up. So it's kind of jumpy. I don't know that this one's going to work. It halts a lot. It has big candle wicks. It's kind of like it moves up on light volume, then gets slammed back down. So I don't think that one's going to be safe. I could be wrong, but SKK, this one got totally hammered on Thursday, dropping like 90% from 12 all the way down to $1.50 or 50 cents actually. So dead cat bounce off the low, but nothing more on that one for me. And those are kind of the leaders from Friday. If we go to the scanners, we look at continuation and we look at after hours top gainers. After hours top gainers, XCUR, BFRI. I'll take a peek at that chart for a second. Yeah, it's a little cheaper. ARQQ, I saw that on the scans as well. I don't think I like it. Continuation, right. So AGFY still on that scan, but don't think I can trust it. SPAI, well, let's look at this one. This could be interesting for a first daily candle to make a new high. It's a little tough because it did continue a couple days in a row and then peaked with a high volume red candle. So at best, we're talking about a bounce. I don't think we would get all the way back up to 650 without volume and news, but there could be something on that one. Probably not, if I'm going to be honest. Probably not, but maybe. So that's a maybe. BKKT, this one had the news with Trump Media, supposedly in advanced talks to buy them. It's holding, but the thing I said about that was, it went up like 200% in one day, and Trump being, the art of the deal, this and that, he's not going to want to pay. I don't think he'd want to pay that kind of money. So I don't know that's going to hold that level. These ones, no, I don't think there's anything else here that looks really good. So the game plan, and what's been interesting this week is a lot of days in the past week, I would sit down and the scans wouldn't look especially exciting. There wouldn't be anything pre-market that I was really dialed in on. And then next thing you know, a stock hits the scanner, starts squeezing up. I buy the first pullback. We get a nice trade. I get a little cushion. It pulls back again. Then we get a nice second 5-minute setup for the kind of curl back higher. And all of a sudden I'm up to 2 times, 3 times, 4 times my daily goal. And I didn't expect it based on the pre-market chart. And so a lot of days, this week, the pre-market top gainer scanner wasn't super exciting until all of a sudden, boom, something like FBRX hits with news. So like if we go back to Thursday or Wednesday with FBRX, this one wasn't on the watch list the day before. There was nothing about it that was interesting. And then all of a sudden the company comes out with news and it goes from 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10, all the way up to $19 a share. Boom. That's awesome. That's a really nice move. We like moves like that. So, my kind of feeling is more than maybe a watch list for Monday, the game plan for Monday should be to sit down, early enough, be here by 7, and be watching for stocks to hit the small cap high day Momo scanner, the running up scanner, or for stocks to be moving up the low float top gainer scanner. When you see the arrow, the green arrow, a stock is moving up that scan, and volume's coming in. Look for the news. Red is news within the last 2 hours. So we want to see breaking news on these. Now, XCUR, you do have to check the headline. Now see, I do see that there's news on this. Just don't know if how significant to approve issuance. So maybe there was actually news on this, but I guess it came out after hours. Anyways, so nonetheless, I think the game plan should be: step 1, get here by 7 a.m. Step 2, pull up the scans and watch to see what's on there. Get kind of, centered and figure out what is moving, what's on the scans. Is there anything that we're looking for a curl or a trade right at 7 a.m.? Or are we sitting and watching for breaking news? 7, 7:30, 8, 8:39. Then we go into the open. So we've got, let's see, 7, 7:30, 8, 8:39. So we've got 5 sort of likely windows where news could come out, although it can come out at any time pre-market. And what I'm going to look at is the initial spike. So FBRX, just to walk you through kind of this example, because it's a decent one. So FBRX first hits the scans and the volume was lighter. All right. So when this first hit the scan right here, didn't jump in it, popped up, pulled back, comes up again, pulls back. And this break of 850, that was where things got interesting. So I think I actually took a trade right here from 8 up to 850. It double topped and then I got out and then I got back in here. But nonetheless, that's where things started to pull away and we got that move to 9 to 10 to 11, pulls back, pops up, pulls back. And then we got this amazing squeeze right here where we halted up a couple times. I didn't buy enough shares on that move, but nonetheless, that was good. So we just got to wait for that kind of first pop. And sometimes, let's see, was it JTAI? I'm trying to remember. JTAI. Yeah, so this one, we got the first pop right here, sort of hesitates there, then it pushes higher. So this was sort of the first pullback right there. And then this was the second pullback right here. Now I wanted it to rip all the way back through the new high. It didn't quite do that. But nonetheless, it was still a decent trade, made some money on it. But these pullbacks, these little dips, those are the spots to be watching. All right, so I think I have neglected to mention that our Black Friday sales here at Warrior Trading have begun. So if you're over at Warrior Trading, you can go to the join now. You will see limited time Black Friday sales. These are our biggest sales of the year. We have discounts on the Warrior Starter, the Warrior Pro, and the Warrior Pro Special Offer. So the Warrior Starter class, this includes day trading the basics, and this special bundle that we've put together here for Black Friday, it includes access to day trading the basics. It also includes a month of access to my live stream, a month of access to Day Trade Dash, the software, and a month of access to our simulator. So you'll get a month of access to the charts, the scanners, the news feed, the simulator, my broadcast, and you'll get access to the classes. With the Warrior Pro, this is my flagship membership. This is the course that includes day trading the basics and strategies and scaling. This is my full curriculum right here. This also includes a month of access to my stream, the scanners, and the simulator. And then if you want to keep subscribing to those, you could subscribe on a monthly basis. This right here is our special Warrior Pro special bundle that includes a year of my broadcast and then 90 days of the scanners and 90 days of simulator. So you get a full year of my broadcast and then 90 days of the other tools with this bundle. So I think you guys should check these out. These are our biggest sales of the year, and it's a great time to join. And it's a great time to break the ice and get into the membership and get into the curriculum. All right, so I encourage you guys to use those Black Friday sales, coupon codes and everything else. If you want to spend this week trading side by side and watching over my shoulder, you're also welcome to do that by doing a 14-day trial. You could do a 14-day trial. You could do the first 7 days this week, and then you still have time to lock in the Black Friday sales before they end. Now, they'll be going for about a week. So early next week, we'll have Cyber Monday, which is a week from Monday, and then it'll be shortly after that the sales will end. So you do still have some time. So if you want to kind of get a feel for the community, do the 2-week trial, trade side by side with me for the rest of this week, and then see whether or not you want to join. All right. So, I'm all about giving you guys that trial because I want you to know the community that you're going to be a part of and to really test it out and see if it's right for you before you sign up. So anyways, I encourage you guys to do that. And yeah, the game plan for Monday, I'm going to be sitting down, watching the scanners, and then as soon as something pops up, looking for the first pullback to ride the momentum. But of course, only trading aggressively on stocks that meet all 5 criteria of stock selection. I don't want to jump into low quality setups if I do that, or low quality stocks. If I do that, I'm just going to get smoked. Now, we also have Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is still just under 100,000. So we're right here, just under 100,000. We kind of come up to it a couple times and dipped back down. So this is a big line in the sand. Everyone at Thanksgiving, get ready. Everyone at Thanksgiving is going to be talking about it. And you're going to have people saying, I told you so, I told you so. Bitcoin's going to 1 million next. So it is up a lot. There's no question about it. 100,000 resistance. So it keeps tapping its head against that resistance. It needs to break above it and hold above it. Once it breaks and holds above 100,000, that'll be interesting. Will that translate to opportunities on some of the crypto sympathy stocks that we've watched recently? BTCT, I would have thought so, but maybe not. Mara, this one's giving a little bit more sympathy. Riot, this one's pulled back a bit. So we'll have to kind of go case by case, but I think there will probably be some opportunities on crypto sympathy if Bitcoin can get and hold over 100,000. All right, so we've got a game plan for Monday. I hope to see you guys in the chat room bright and early. And I'll remind you as always, look, trading is risky. My results aren't typical, and there's no guarantee you'll find success whether you trade with me or you learn on your own. So please manage your risk, take it slow, and always practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line. All right, I'll see you guys bright and early Monday morning.